behind. Nothing in this world could ever bring them down. Yeah, they're invincible, and she's just in the background. And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. I wish that I could be like the cool kids, like the cool kids. He says I'm talking with a big smile, but they haven't got a clue. Yeah, they're living the good life, can't see what he is going through. They're driving fast cars, but they don't know where they're going. In the fast lane, living life without
Second voice. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everybody. I am standing in front of you all as the master of ceremony. I would like to say thank you very much for your attending this seminar by the title Difficulties English Poses for EFL Learners. I would like to read the session of this seminar. The first session is opening. The second session is presentation by Yuliyanto, Ph.D. The third session is conflict. The fourth session is presentation by Dr. Amalia Sari, M.Pd. The fifth session is questioning and answering. The sixth session is closing. Alright, we are going to the first session from this seminar. Let's open our seminar today by setting basmalah. Thank you. Then we are going the second session will be led by Ms. Cantika M.Pd. Give applause for her.
Thank you, Mr. Vishnu. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we start this seminar, let's stand together to our God. Because of God, we can attend in the seminar. And secondly, I don't forget to say, just thank you very much for this opportunity that you have given to me to lead a seminar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our seminar with the title, The Difficulties English Poses for EFL Learners. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I won't speak anything else here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Cantika Abbrevianti as a leader here, and that is Miss Lina S.P.D. M.Pd as a moderator, and the first keynote speaker is Dr. Amalia Sari M.Pd, and she was graduated from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia Bandung, and she was Minister of Education and Culture in Indonesia. And the second keynote speaker is Miss Deva Juliani Ph.D. She was graduated from Oxford University in England. She is very experienced teaching as foreign language in mother country. She also active in UNESCO's activity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and gentlemen, may I have your attention? First of all, I would like to welcome you all to in this seminar. The audience seminar. In this occasion, we would like to have a seminar about difficulties English poses for EFL learners. Background this seminar held for the English teachers overcome difficulties English poses for EFL learners and the student easier to learn. Allow us to introduce the keynote speakers. She is Dr. Evis Amaliasari, M.Pd. She is the first keynote speaker. And beside her is Miss Deva Yuliyanto, Ph.D. She is the second keynote speaker. And me, Lina Fauzia, as moderator. Let's start the seminar by saying basmala. Okay, everyone, I would like to welcome the first keynote speaker to deliver the information. Alright, Dr. Evis Amaliasari, M.Pd., the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for Miss Lina. Difficulties English poses for EFL learners. We know that in our country, English is foreign language. So there are many difficulties for learners to mastering English. The first difficulty is English has one of the biggest, trickiest vocabularies. One of the most arduous tasks when learning English is committing to memory enough words, so you can express yourself regardless the situation or subject. This is no mean feat in any language, but in English, you need that. I will show you some reasons why learners find English so challenging. The sheer number of words. English has unusual large and varied number of words. According to many scholars, English has a vast of numbers of words. It's a particularly complex lexion because it has different roots and influence, including Old English and Latin. And there are numerous instances of words. There are numerous instances of word meaning essentially the same thing, but with little differences that are lost on those who don't speak English as their mother tongue. For example, word plump and flat. Basically, they have same meaning, but plump imply in a healthy redness as in a big plump. But fat has more negative connotation. Usually imply in obesity. Next slide. Spelling. English spelling is hard even for native speaker. And then how about us? How about our students? This can impede the learning process. Although there are many incurring patterns such as word ending in E, shun, and so on. But there is also no substitute for learning spelling by rote, because there are many exceptions to use, meaning that logical deduction does not always work. Okay, next slide. Idioms and slangs. Slang is another aspect of language for learners to get to grips with. Knowledge of slang is necessary in order to understand informal conversation. Very basic example is yeah, that is slang of yes. And then English is also littered with idioms. Knowledge of idioms is essential in order to speak English like a native speaker. You can see a slide. To know the ropes, meaning to know your way around, is an idiom that comes from sailing. It's not just the phrases you need to learn, but their meanings and when it's appropriate for you to use is important to learn. Okay, next slide. English grammar is full of subtleties. Consider, for example, the difference between I write, simple present tense, and I have written, perfect present, to which other forms such as I am writing or I have written. And even more complexity with subtly different meanings. Why the basic aspect of English grammar must be learned by rote. Start the moment you learning the language. Okay, I think enough for my presentation. Thank you for your attention and good evening.
Thanks for Dr. M.Pd. Okay, I think now is the time of coffee break. Please enjoy the beverages served by committee.
Tonight, it's just the two of us. So forget the world for a while. Open your heart and open your eyes. I'm right here in front of you. And you look so pretty in your dress. Though I know I look like a mess, I'll do my best to win your heart. So can I walk you home tonight? Please tell me how.
I think the bread is enough. How about the snacks? I hope it's delicious. Okay, then welcome to the second keynote speaker. Please, Ms. Deva Juliani, PhD. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Lina. Well, I will introduce myself first. My name is Deva Juliani. I am from Oxford University, and I will explain to you about the difficulties English poses for EFL learners. The third difficulties English poses for EFL learners is pronunciation is difficult and inconsistent. Getting to grips pronunciations. The third difficulties English poses for EFL learners is pronunciation is difficult and inconsistent. Getting to grips with pronunciation can be a tall order whatever you are learning language. And the prevalent sounds can differ quite dramatically. And these are some of the main aspects of English pronunciation that make it even harder for those learning it as a foreign language. The first main aspects of English pronunciation that make it even harder is certain sounds in English are particularly tricky. Different nationalities have problems with different aspects of English pronunciation, and there isn't a great deal they can do about it other than practice repeatedly until they start to form the ability to create the right sound. Many EFL learners find the TH sound hard to pronounce because it's comparatively uncommon in other languages. For example, is the distinction between 3 and 3 can be hard to pronounce. Those who speak language as Japanese and most dialects of Chinese, it's hard to differentiate between R and M sound. And while the distinction between the V and P sounds is difficult by the other languages from the Spanish and Arabic. It means that the same word can be pronounced very differently depending on who is saying it. And how to overcome this is you can minimize by learning with the natural dialects so you can learn consistently. Next. And the fourth difficulties of English poses for EFL learners is there are many variations of English. Finally, English is a particularly challenging language because there are so many variations of it. Though fundamentally the same language, it's spoken quite differently in the various countries that have it as the primary language, such as the USA, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. As we've already seen, it's even spoken with variations in the UK, with regional dialects introducing local vocabulary, which is including unique words and sayings, and the whole language sounding very different in Scotland to how it does in England, and different again in Wales and Ireland. It means that the different English-speaking countries have different varieties of English. And I give to you the tips when you hear each variation of English. It is add an additional layer of complexity so you can learn perfectly. That's all that I can say, and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thanks to Mr. Yuliyanto, PhD. Inviting everyone. Now we are going to discussion question and answer sessions. There will be 2 sessions, and each session is 2 questions from 2 audience. Raise your hand. Don't forget to mention your name. Any question? Yes, please.
My name is Lina Ashari, and I have a question. What is the way to manage the class based on that difficulties? Okay, thank you.
Second question. Yes, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nafi Al-Qazini. I want to ask you what is the difference between idiom and slang. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thanks for all the questionnaires. And now the questions will be answered by Dr. Efis Amalia Sari, M.Pd.
I will answer the first and the second questions. The first, the way to manage the class. 1. Take charge of your class. Get everyone's attention before beginning class. Number 2, focus on disruptive students. If students aren't paying attention or busy with something, get them focused by use nonverbal signal. Number 3, give them incentive to make them do their best on assignment. Number 4, establish consequence for misbehaving. It will make your student aware with their responsibility. And the question number 2, difference between idiom and slang. Idiom is an expression whose meaning is different from the meanings of individual words it contains, and slang is the expression that only certain groups of people use and understand that aren't usually taught in formal English courses. Thank you.
Any question again? Yes, please. Good afternoon, ma'am. Nama saya Maria Rosa dari Solo. And I want to ask you, when is the best age to learn new language? Thank you. Okay, the next question. Yes, please.
Good evening. My name is Farida Ulfa. I want to ask you, which is more important, learning grammar or learning vocabulary? Thank you.
Okay, thanks for all the questions. In second session. Now, the questions will be answered by Ms. Deva Yuliyanto, PhD.
Well, I will answer the third and fourth questions. And the answer for the third questions is, if you want to be able to speak English as the foreign language without an accent, then the younger the better. Otherwise, researchers think that early adolescence is the optimal time. And the answer for the last question is, clearly, no one can claim to speak a foreign language without the mastery of both its essential of grammar and its essential of vocabulary. Thank you.
Finally, we come to the end of this seminar. We would like to say thanks to keynote speakers for the information and interesting talk, and to audiences for active participation. The conclusion from this seminar: in Indonesia, there are so many English teachers who get problems in learning process. Thanks for your attention. Good night.
Okay, now we come on this seminar. Thank you for your attention and for your coming, and good night.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Chandika. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the last session. It's closing. Let's close our seminar today by reciting Hamdallah. Thank you for coming Good night and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.